So, I want to start with a number today.
Okay, like a specific number.
Yeah, a nice round one, 100.
A nice triple-digit number.
Right, because, for the vast majority of human history, living to the age of 100 it was basically a statistical anomaly.
Completely.
It was a myth. I mean, if you hit 100 in the Middle Ages, you were either a wizard or, you just have very confused birth records.
Most likely the records.
Yeah. But there's a cluster of islands south of Japan, specifically Okinawa, where 100 isn't a myth. It's normal.
It's almost a demographic expectation at this point.
Right. And the thing that just completely blows my mind isn't just that they are surviving to 100.
Right. It's the quality of life.
Exactly. They aren't languishing in hospital beds hooked up to machines.
No, they are gardening.
Gardening, they are riding motorcycles, they are drinking sake with their neighbors, they are fully, vibrantly alive.
And that distinction, the why versus the how, is actually the key to the whole mystery.
Exactly. So to figure this out, we are doing a complete, unfiltered deep dive into the international bestseller.
Ikigai.
Yes, Ikigai. The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life by Hector Garcia and Francesc Moraes. This book is, honestly, it's basically the Rosetta Stone for longevity.
It really is. And before we start mapping this out, we have a very specific mission for this deep dive today.
We do.
This full narration and detailed summary is brought to you specifically for the Simplified Summary YouTube channel.
That's right, because this is a dense book. It has a lot of layers, philosophy, diet, movement, psychology.
It covered a lot of ground.
It does. So our job today, specifically for you listening on Simplified Summary, is to strip away the fluff and give you the actionable toolkit.
We are going to cover every single chapter.
Every single one. So if you are listening to this and you want to support more deep breakdowns like this, please go hit that subscribe button on the Simplified Summary YouTube channel.
And share it.
Yeah, share it with a friend who is maybe stressed out and needs some answers.
It really helps support the research that goes into these deep dives. Now, shall we get to the magic word?
Let's do it. Ikigai.
Ikigai.
It sounds beautiful. It's almost musical. But what does it actually mean?
It is a beautiful concept. If you look at the characters, the direct translation roughly means the happiness of always being busy.
Always being busy.
Yeah, but I have to stop you there because when we hear busy in the West, we immediately think of stress.
Oh, yeah. Busy is usually a complaint for me, like, I'm so busy, I'm so tired.
Right. We think of overflowing inboxes and running for the bus. But in the Okinawan context, busy implies a life full of activity that actually matters.
Okay, so it's a purposeful busy.
Exactly. A more profound translation is simply the reason for being.
The reason for being.
It's the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning, not because you have to, but because you want to.
Okay, but reason for being is still a little abstract. The book actually visualizes this, right?
It does.
It's not just a feeling, it's a structure.
Yes, and this is probably the best way to diagnose your own life right now. Imagine a Venn diagram.
Okay.
You have 4 overlapping circles. Circle 1 is, what do you love?
Got it.
Circle 2, what are you good at?
Okay.
Circle 3, what does the world need?
Right.
And circle 4, what can you be paid for?
Okay, let's play with this because I feel like most people have 2, maybe 3 of these.
Usually, yes.
For example, if I have something I love and something I'm good at, but the world doesn't really need it and I can't get paid for it.
Then you have a passion.
Just a passion.
Right. It's likely just a hobby. You might feel happy doing it, but you won't have financial security.
Okay. Or what if I have something I'm paid for and I'm good at, but I completely hate it?
That is a profession. You have money, but you probably feel empty or bored.
I think a lot of people are stuck in that one.
Absolutely.
And what if I have something the world needs and I can get paid for it, but I'm just terrible at it?
That's a vocation. But you will probably live in a constant state of anxiety or uncertainty because you lack the skill to do it well.
Okay, so where does Ikigai come in?
The magic of Ikigai is the very center where all 4 of those circles overlap.
The sweet spot.
The sweet spot. It's where passion, mission, vocation, and profession collide.
And the argument of this book is that finding that center point isn't just about, career satisfaction.
No, not at all.
It's actually a biological necessity for living a long life.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that leads us directly into chapter 1, which starts with a concept that I think is going to ruffle some feathers.
Especially for our Western listeners.
Definitely. It's about retirement.
Or rather, the fact that retirement is a lie.
Well, it's a linguistic curiosity that reveals a massive cultural gap.
How so?
The authors point out that in Japanese, there is literally no word for retiree in the sense of leaving the workforce for good, like we have in English.
Wait, really? The concept just doesn't exist?
Not in the traditional sense, no.
Because in the West, the narrative is you work hard, you hate your job for 40 years, you save up, and then you just stop.
Right, you sit on a porch, maybe play some golf, and do nothing.
That's the dream, the golden years.
But in Okinawa, that concept is seen as almost a death sentence.
Wow.
The idea is that you keep doing what you love for as long as your health allows.
So you don't just stop.
No. You might not work for a corporation forever, sure, but you never stop being active and contributing to the community.
So if you stop doing the Shrin, you essentially stop being.
In a way, yes. There is actual data suggesting that for many people, health declines rapidly the moment they fully stop working.
Because they lose their routine.
You lose your social structure, your daily physical routine, and most importantly, you lose your purpose.
You wake up on a Tuesday with nowhere to be.
And no one needing you. That void is lethal.
That is terrifying. But it makes sense, though. If your brain thinks the job is done, maybe your body thinks the job is done, too.
Exactly. It starts shutting down.
Okay, so this book leans heavily on the research of Dan Buettner, right? The National Geographic reporter who identified the blue zones.
Yes.
We've been talking a lot about Okinawa, but let's just quickly establish the landscape here. There are 5 of these magical places.
Right. Let's run through them because the geography is fascinating.
So you have Okinawa in Japan, obviously.
Then you have Sardinia in Italy,
Okay.
specifically the mountainous provinces of Nuoro and Ogliastra. It actually has the highest concentration of male centenarians in the world.
Interesting. Just the men.
Mostly, yes. It's very unique. Then there is Loma Linda in California.
Which is an outlier, right? Because it's not some isolated island or mountain.
Correct. It's a community of Seventh-day Adventists. Their longevity is driven almost entirely by religious faith and a very strict vegetarian diet.
Okay, so that's 3.
Then we have the Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica, and finally Ikaria in Greece.
And despite being thousands of miles apart, some in mountains, some on coasts, they share specific habits.
Very specific habits. A plant-based diet, moderate exercise, strong social ties, and of course a sense of purpose.
But the book highlights a very specific Okinawan secret regarding food that I think we need to spend some time on.
Hara Hachi Bu.
Hara Hachi Bu. I love saying that, but I absolutely hate doing it.
You've tried it.
Well, the concept is fill your belly to 80%.
Right. Stop eating before you are full.
But let's be real for a second. If I am eating a great meal, let's say a really good pizza, my brain doesn't send me a push notification that says, ding, you are at 80%.
No, it doesn't.
I usually don't realize I'm full until I'm at like 110% and I need to unbutton my pants. How do they actually do this?
It is a physical discipline, but it's rooted in understanding your own biology.
Yeah.
You have to realize there is a significant lag time.
How long?
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yes, between your stomach being full and your brain actually registering that fullness.
So by the time I feel stuffed, I actually overate 20 minutes ago.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
If you eat until you feel 100% full, you have already blown past the limit.
Wow.
The Okinawan instruction is to stop eating when you no longer feel hungry.
When you no longer feel hungry.
That is a very different sensation than feeling full.
That's a huge distinction, not hungry versus full.
It is. And the reason they do it isn't just about weight loss or aesthetics. The expert insight here is about oxidation.
Oxidation, like rust.
Yes, exactly like rust. Think of digestion like a furnace in your body. Digestion takes a huge amount of energy.
Okay.
The more fuel you shovel in, the hotter the furnace burns, and the more smoke or oxidative stress it creates.
And that smoke is what ages us.
Yes. That oxidative stress essentially rusts your cells from the inside out. By stopping at 80%, you spare your body that exhaustion.
You are preserving your cellular machinery.
Exactly.
So, practically speaking, how do we hack this? Because my willpower is terrible.
The Japanese actually have a structural hack for this. They serve food on many small plates rather than one huge platter.
The tapas approach.
Right. It tricks the eye. You feel like you're eating a huge variety of foods, but the total volume is much less.
That makes sense.
Plus, moving between all those little plates slows you down, which gives your brain time to catch up to that 20-minute lag.
Okay, small plates. I can do that. Now, another pillar of Okinawan life mentioned in this chapter is the Moai.
Yes, the Moai.
And no, we aren't talking about the giant stone statues on Easter Island.
Completely different. A Moai in Okinawa is an informal group of people who look out for one another.
Like a support group.
It is, but it's deeper than just friends hanging out on the weekend.
It actually started as a financial thing, right?
It did. Historically, it was formed by farmers. They would form a group to pool their money.
Okay.
If one farmer had a bad harvest or a monsoon wiped out their crops, the Moai funds would support him. It was a localized financial safety net.
That's incredible. It's like insurance, but instead of paying a faceless corporation, you're betting on your neighbors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In modern times, the financial necessity has dropped a bit, but the structure remains.
How does it work now?
Members contribute a set monthly sum to the group. This money is used for dinners, games of shogi, or shared hobbies. But that safety net aspect is still the psychological anchor.
It's the antidote to isolation.
And anxiety. Think about how much stress comes from the fear of, what if I go broke? Or what if I get sick?
A lot. Most of my stress, honestly.
Right. But if you know your Moai has your back, your baseline cortisol levels drop, you aren't facing the world alone.
And reducing that baseline stress is the perfect segue into Chapter 2, which is all about anti-aging secrets.
Yes, the biological side.
The authors use this really vivid metaphor to describe the race against time. They call it escape velocity and the rabbit. Can you unpack that for us?
It's a concept borrowed from futurism. Imagine you are walking down a road toward a sign that marks the exact day of your death.
Okay, following.
And holding that sign is a rabbit.
A very grim rabbit.
Very grim. Every year you live, you get closer to the rabbit. But technology is also advancing.
Right, medicine, science.
If technology advances fast enough, it pushes the rabbit further away.
Ah.
Escape velocity is the theoretical moment where for every single year you live, technology adds at least 1 year to your life expectancy.
So technically, you'd never catch the rabbit. You'd be biologically immortal.
In theory. But we aren't there yet.
We aren't there yet, obviously. But the book argues that while we wait for technology to catch up, we have to do our part to keep the body and mind running.
We need to stay in the race.
Exactly.
And that brings us to the mind-body connection. There's that famous Latin phrase, mens sana in corpore sano.
A sound mind and a sound body.
The book leans heavily on the research of neuroscientist Shlomo Bresnitz here. He argues that the brain acts like a muscle.
If you don't use it, it atrophies.
But I feel like I use my brain all day. I'm checking emails, I'm scrolling the news, I'm analyzing data. My brain is exhausted.
But are you doing anything new?
Oh.
That's the key distinction. Bresnitz points out that the brain loves habits.
It loves efficiency. Right. When you do the same routine every day, your brain goes on automatic pilot. It literally stops forming new neural connections because it doesn't need to.
It's just running the old scripts.
Exactly. To stay young, you have to fight that efficiency. You need novelty.
So stepping out of the comfort zone is actually anti-aging medicine?
Yes, even if it causes a little bit of anxiety.
Like learning a language.
Learning a new language, taking a new route to work, playing a new instrument, that strain revitalizes the neurons. It tells the brain, we are still growing, keep the lights on.
Speaking of anxiety, the book identifies stress as the absolute killer of longevity.
A silent killer.
And they make this comparison between the cave dweller and the modern human that really hit home for me.
It's a stark contrast. Think about a cave dweller. They experienced incredibly high stress, but only in short bursts.
Like a saber-toothed tiger attacks.
Exactly. A predator attacks, stress spikes, cortisol floods the system, you run or fight.
And then
Then the threat is gone and you relax completely.
right. You aren't stressed about the predator emails coming in next week. You're just back to eating berries.
Exactly. But the modern human,
It's constant.
we live in a state of constant low-dose cortisol. Traffic, notifications, deadlines, the 24-hour news cycle.
The body never gets the all-clear signal to relax.
Never. And the book explains that this constant cortisol wears down the body. It causes premature cellular aging and even shortens our telomeres.
Telomeres, those are the protective caps on our chromosomes, right?
Yes, like the plastic tips on shoelaces.
Yeah.
When they fray, the cells stop dividing properly.
It's like leaving your car engine revving in the driveway 24/7. Eventually, something is going to blow.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
And combined with stress is another enemy. Sedentary behavior.
Sitting.
Sitting is the new smoking.
Hmm.
The data here is frightening. Metabolism slows down 90% after just 30 minutes of sitting.
90% after 30 minutes? I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sitting right now.
Yeah.
I feel like I should stand up immediately.
You really should. The enzymes that move the bad fat from your arteries to your muscles to get burned, they just slow down to a halt.
But the fix is surprisingly simple, isn't it?
Very simple. You don't need to run a marathon.
Yeah.
Just standing up for 5 minutes every half hour gets things moving again.
Okay, stand up, move around. Got it. Now, let's talk about the flip side of activity, which is sleep.
Crucial.
The authors actually interviewed models, people who literally make a living looking young, and asked them their secret.
And the answer wasn't some expensive face cream.
No, it was sleep. Specifically, 9 to 10 hours before a big show.
Which sounds luxurious.
It does. But why is it specifically anti-aging?
It's all about melatonin.
The sleep hormone.
Right. But we usually think of melatonin just as a sleep aid, something you buy in a little bottle at the pharmacy.
Right, gummies.
But it's actually a powerful antioxidant produced naturally by the pineal gland.
Okay.
It strengthens the immune system, it protects against cancer, and it fights those free radicals we talked about earlier.
But I bet most of our listeners, and myself included honestly, are doing things that absolutely kill our melatonin production.
Oh, absolutely. The pineal gland is incredibly sensitive to light.
So screens.
If you look at screens before bed, if you drink caffeine, or if you consume alcohol late at night, you are blocking that melatonin production.
You're basically turning off your body's natural anti-aging phone.
That's exactly what you're doing.
So put the phone away.
Put it away.
Now, before we move on to the next chapter, there's one more anti-aging secret mentioned here. Attitude.
Attitude is everything.
The book mentions a woman named Misao Okawa.
Yes, she was the oldest person in the world for a time. She lived to 117.
Wow. And her advice?
It was delightfully simple. She said, eat and sleep, and you'll live a long time.
Eat and sleep.
But underneath that simple quote is a very stoic attitude. Serenity. Not getting worked up over things you cannot control.
And that leads us perfectly into chapter 3, which gets a bit more philosophical.
It does.
It connects a Western concept, logotherapy, to the Japanese concept of Ikigai. This is where the book gets really, really deep.
This is where we meet Viktor Frankl.
Yes, the psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor.
He developed logotherapy.
Now, I've read Man's Search for Meaning, which is Frankl's defining book. It's completely life-changing. But for those who haven't read it, how is logotherapy different from, say, Freud and psychoanalysis?
Well, psychoanalysis often looks backward.
Digging into childhood.
Right, digging into past traumas to explain why you are the way you are today. Logotherapy, on the other hand, looks forward.
Okay.
It asks, what is the meaning of my life right now and in the future?
So it's very future-oriented.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Frankl's core belief was, he who has a why to live for can bear with almost anyhow.
That's powerful. And he developed this theory while surviving in a concentration camp, right?
He did. He saw firsthand that the people who survived were often the ones who had a specific purpose waiting for them on the outside.
Like a loved one to reunite with or a book to finish writing.
Exactly. It wasn't always the physically strongest who survived. It was those with the future to fulfill.
And the book mentions a psychological condition that Frankl identified called Sunday neurosis.
Yes.
And I feel like I've definitely had this.
Oh, the Sunday scaries.
Right, but it's deeper than just dreading Monday morning, isn't it?
It is much deeper.
Yeah.
It's that sudden anxiety or emptiness you feel on a Sunday afternoon when the busyness of the work week just stops.
The emails stop.
The meetings stop, and suddenly the void opens up.
Yeah.
You realize you don't actually have a purpose outside of your job.
That hits really hard. It's that realization of, who am I if I'm not answering emails or fixing problems for my boss?
Frankl says the cure for that neurosis is finding meaning. But the authors also introduce a Japanese therapy that works right alongside this.
Morita Therapy.
Created by Shomo Morita.
Now, this one fascinated me because it is so incredibly different from how we treat feelings in the West.
Night and day.
Usually, if I feel anxious, I try to fix it. I fight it. I try to make the feeling go away.
Right. We treat negative emotions as intruders to be shot on sight.
Exactly.
But Morita says, do not try to control or remove the feeling.
Why not?
Because if you try to banish a thought, it just comes back stronger. Think of a pink elephant.
Right, now I'm only thinking of a pink elephant.
Exactly. Instead, Morita says to accept the feeling like you would greet a guest.
Hello, anxiety. Come on in. Have a seat.
Yes, literally acknowledge it. Say, I am feeling anxious right now.
And then what?
Then, and this is the absolute key, do what needs to be done anyway.
Action over emotion.
Always.
Yeah.
You don't wait to feel like doing something, you just do it.
It reminds me of the Niken meditation questions mentioned in this chapter. They are so simple, but they really shift your perspective from this me-centric view to the world around you.
They are very grounding. The questions are, number 1, what have I received from person X?
Okay.
Number 2, what have I given to person X?
And the third one?
The hard one. What problems have I caused person X?
Ouch. That last one requires some serious honesty.
It does. It forces you to look at your responsibility and your deep connection to others. It stops you from being the constant victim of your own life.
So if we synthesize this, logotherapy helps you find your purpose, your why,
Right.
and Morita therapy helps you take action, your how, even when you don't feel like it.
Exactly. And that combination leads you directly to Ikigai.
That is the formula. Now, once you have that purpose, how do you actually engage with it daily? Chapter 4 introduces the concept of flow. This is based on the work of psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi.
Yes. Flow is that state where time just vanishes.
You look up and 3 hours have passed.
Exactly. You are so completely immersed in an activity that your ego actually dissolves. You aren't thinking about yourself or your worries, you are just doing.
I felt that when I'm really into reading a good book or maybe playing a sport. But how do we trigger it? Is it just random?
No, it can absolutely be engineered. There are 7 conditions for flow, but the most important one is finding the balance between challenge and skill.
The Goldilocks zone.
That's a great way to put it. If a task is too hard, you get anxious. If it's too easy, you get bored.
Right.
Flow happens in that middle channel, where the task stretches you just enough to demand your full attention, but not so much that you panic and quit.
But the book warns us about a massive enemy of flow that we are all guilty of.
Multitasking. The expert correction here is vital. We are not actually multitasking.
We aren't.
Humans physically cannot do 2 things at once that require cognitive attention. We are rapidly switching.
So jumping from task to task.
Yes. We switch from email to phone to the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And every single switch burns energy and actually lowers your effective IQ in the moment.
Wow.
To find flow, you need a distraction-free environment.
The book gives some amazing examples of people who master this flow state. They talk about the Japanese concept of the takumi.
The artisan.
Right.
The documentary Jiro Dreams of Sushi is the prime example here. You have an apprentice who spends years just trying to make the perfect egg.
The tamago
Yes.
years, just for the egg portion.
Years. To a Westerner, that sounds like torture. But for him, it is flow. He is trying to achieve a very specific mastery. He isn't thinking about, when is my shift over? He is thinking entirely about the texture and temperature of the egg.
And Steve Jobs was obsessed with this level of Japanese craftsmanship, right?
He was. He loved the simplicity and the total obsession with detail found in Sony engineers and Japanese porcelain makers.
Another great example they give is Hayao Miyazaki, the founder of Studio Ghibli.
The animation legend.
Right, Spirited Away, Totoro.
He ostensibly retired multiple times, but he literally cannot stop drawing.
He keeps coming back.
He goes into the studio and enters flow by drawing storyboards by hand. He's not doing it for the money anymore. He's doing it because drawing is his state of being.
But, and I can hear you, our listeners, asking this right now. What if I'm not an animation genius or a world-class sushi master? Can I find flow in, say, doing the laundry or doing the dishes?
Yes, absolutely. This is called microflow.
Microflow.
The book mentions Bill Gates for this, actually.
Bill Gates. The man could hire an army of dishwashers.
He could, but he apparently enjoys washing the dishes every single night.
Why?
He follows a set order. Plates first, forks second. He turns a mundane chore into a ritual.
Interesting.
By focusing entirely on the process, the warmth of the water, the texture of the sponge, he relaxes his mind. The takeaway is that you can turn any routine into a ritual to achieve flow.
You don't need to be painting the Sistine Chapel.
Not at all.
That is actually really liberating. Rituals over goals.
Precisely.
Moving on to Chapter 5, we meet the masters of longevity. These are the super centenarians, people who live past 110.
These profiles are just incredible. We mentioned Misawa Kawa, but there's also Jeanne Calment from France.
Right.
She lived to 122.
122. That is almost unfathomable.
And she had quite the sense of humor about it, too.
She did. She famously said she competed with Methuselah.
And get this, she didn't give up smoking until she was 120.
Okay, quick disclaimer for everyone listening. We are not recommending smoking to 120.
Definitely not. Please don't do that. We are just reporting what she did.
Right.
But it shows her incredible resilience. Her famous quote was, "Everything's fine." She simply refused to stress. She didn't let worry eat her alive.
Then there was Walter Bruning, an American who lived to 114.
His secret was, keep your mind and body busy.
And it's not just the elderly people they talk about. The book discusses Ikigai artists, like Hokusai.
Yes, the artist who painted the Great Wave.
Right, the famous woodblock print.
Hokusai is a beautiful example of the artist's mindset. He actually believed he wouldn't be a real painter until he was 100.
Imagine having your biggest career goal set for your 90s.
He thought everything he did before age 70 was just practice.
That completely changes your perspective on time. Artists don't retire. They just carry the torch of their Ikigai until the very end.
That's the traditional Japanese view.
I love that. It makes aging feel like an upgrade, not a decline.
Exactly.
Now, for Chapter 6, the authors actually went directly to the source. They traveled to Ogimi.
The village of longevity.
Right, in northern Okinawa.
This is the real heart of the book. Ogimi is a very rural town. They have these local mascots called bunagaya.
What are those?
They are mythical, long-haired forest sprites. It's a place that feels deeply connected to nature and almost stuck in time, but in a very good way.
And the sense of community there is palpable in the writing. They describe going to a birthday party where the young man being celebrated is 89.
And they play a game called gateball.
Gekko.
It's a low-impact sport, kind of similar to croquet. The authors watched a woman there who was 104 years old, and she was beating them at the game.
At 104.
And probably trash-talking them while doing it.
That is deeply humbling.
It is. The authors conducted 100 interviews with the locals in Ogimi.
And they distilled those interviews down to 5 main themes. Let's run through them because these are the practical, everyday takeaways.
Number 1, don't worry.
Easier said than done.
True, but the locals say open your heart. If you smile, your grandchildren will want to see you. Anxiety is the enemy of connection.
Number 2, cultivate habits.
Wake up early, work in the garden, do your exercises. Routine grounds you.
Number 3, friendships.
Talking each day with people you love is the secret. This goes right back to the Moai we discussed.
Number 4, slow living.
Walk slowly and you'll go far.
And number 5, optimism.
One woman they interviewed said she still considers herself young at 98.
It's really a masterclass in mindset. And there's a stone plaque in the town that sums it up beautifully.
I love the plaque.
It says, "At 80, I am still a child. When I come to see you at 90, send me away to wait until I'm 100.
The sass. Send me away.
It's brilliant. But obviously, you can't live to 100 on attitude alone. You have to fuel the machine.
You do.
So Chapter 7 dives into the Ikigai Diet. What are they actually eating?
Well, first let's look at the baseline stats. Okinawans eat significantly fewer calories than the rest of the country.
How many?
About 1,785 calories per day compared to over 2,000 in the rest of Japan.
And the salt.
Their salt intake is much lower, about 7 grams a day, versus the Japanese average of 12.
So fewer calories, less salt. But what's actually on the plate?
The local slogan is, eat the rainbow. They eat an average of 18 different foods per day.
18.
Yes, that dietary variety is crucial. The base of the diet is vegetables, making up about 30% of their calories, plus grains like rice or noodles, and lots of tofu and soy.
What about meat? Because I do love a good steak.
It's mostly pork, surprisingly.
Really?
Yes, but only once or twice a week. It's not the main event. Fish is much more common, maybe 3 times a week.
And sugar.
Very low intake. And when they do have it, it's mostly natural cane sugar.
The book lists 15 natural antioxidants they consume regularly. Things like miso, tuna, sweet potato, and seaweeds like kombu and nori.
All excellent.
But there is one specific fruit that seems to be the absolute star of the show. The shikawasa.
Yes, the shikawasa.
What is that?
It's a citrus fruit. It's essentially a hybrid between a lime and a mandarin.
Okay.
It is incredibly acidic, so you usually have to dilute the juice. But here's the magic of it. It contains extremely high levels of a compound called nobiletin.
Nobiltin. Sounds like a sci-fi drug. What does it actually do?
It is a powerhouse antioxidant.
Uh,
Shikawasas have 40 times more nobiletin than regular oranges.
40 times.
Yes, it protects against arteriosclerosis, cancer, and diabetes. It's basically nature's medicine.
And they wash all this down with tea, right?
Sanpincha.
Sanpincha.
It's a specific mix of green tea and jasmine flowers. Green tea is huge all over Japan, obviously. Because it's air-dried and not fermented, it retains very high levels of antioxidants.
It controls cholesterol and blood sugar, too.
In Okinawa, sanpincha is basically the water of life. They drink it all day long.
So eat lots of plants, stop at 80% full, eat the magic citrus fruit, and drink jasmine tea.
Got it.
That's the formula. Now, Chapter 8 is about movement, but it's not about CrossFit or running ultramarathons.
No, not at all. The key distinction here is movement over exercise.
Okay.
The Centenarians in Okinawa aren't going to a gym and pumping iron, but they never stop moving.
They walk, they garden, they sing karaoke.
Exactly. The book highlights a specific routine called Radio Taiso.
Radio Taiso, I've seen videos of this.
It is a massive cultural phenomenon. Since the 1920s, there has been a morning broadcast on Japanese radio with instructions for a warm-up routine.
And people still do it?
Even today, something like 30% of all Japanese people practice it daily. Entire offices will stop and do it together.
What's the key movement in it?
It's surprisingly simple. Just raising your arms above your head.
That's it.
Think about it. Modern humans rarely do that. We are constantly hunched forward over phones, over keyboards, over steering wheels.
That's true. I haven't reached above my head all day.
Radio Taiso forces you to stretch up, opening the chest and waking up the joints and shoulders.
The chapter also touches on other Eastern disciplines like yoga, tai chi, and qigong.
Yes. These are all different practices, obviously, but they share a vital common thread.
Which is?
Combining physical movement with breath awareness. Tai Chi is often described as meditation in motion. Qigong works with your Qi, or life force. Shiatsu uses pressure points.
But the goal isn't just big muscles or burning calories.
No, it's about flow and internal balance, uniting the body and the mind.
It all comes back to that mind-body connection we talked about earlier.
Always.
Finally, we arrive at chapter 9, and this might actually be my favorite chapter in the whole book. It deals with resilience and wabi-sabi.
Resilience is the absolute bedrock of Ikigai. If your purpose is strong, you can weather any storm.
There is a Japanese proverb they quote, "Fall 7 times, rise 8."
I love that proverb.
Because it doesn't say don't fall. It acknowledges that you absolutely will fall. Hardships are guaranteed.
Exactly. It's about the rising. The book connects this to Western Stoicism and Eastern Buddhism.
Focusing on the present, the now.
And understanding impermanence. Everything changes, and you have to be okay with that. Which brings us to Wabi-Sabi.
Wabi-Sabi. This is an aesthetic concept, right? Like in art or design.
It is, but it's also a deep philosophy for living. Wabi-Sabi is about finding beauty in the imperfect, the incomplete, and the fleeting.
The classic example is the cracked teacup.
Right. In the West, if a cup cracks, it's broken. It's ruined. We throw it away.
We want perfection.
But in the philosophy of Wabi-Sabi, that crack is part of the object's history. It makes it unique. In fact, it is considered more beautiful because it is broken. They sometimes even fill the cracks with gold.
Kintsugi.
Yes.
How does that apply to aging, though?
Think about wrinkles or scars.
Okay.
Instead of seeing them as defects to be hidden with surgery or anti-aging creams, Wabi-Sabi sees them as proof of life.
Yeah.
They're physical evidence that you have lived, laughed, and survived.
That is a much, much healthier way to look in the mirror every morning.
It really is.
There is another phrase introduced here, ichigo ichi.
Ichigo ichi. It translates roughly to, this moment exists only now and won't come again.
It's often used in tea ceremonies, isn't it?
Yes. If we're having tea together right now, this specific moment, the light in the room, the mood, the exact conversation, it will never happen exactly this way again.
So we must cherish it.
It forces you to be entirely present.
And finally, the book touches on a modern concept to tie it all together, anti-fragility.
From the author Nassim Taleb.
Right. How is that different from resilience?
Well, it goes a step beyond resilience.
Yeah.
Resilience is resisting a shock and staying the same. You bounce back to where you were.
Okay.
Anti-fragility is getting stronger because of the shock, like the Hydra in Greek mythology.
You cut off one head and 2 grow back.
Exactly. The damage actually makes the system stronger.
How do we be anti-fragile in our everyday lives?
By keeping your options open, by taking small, calculated risks, by learning from setbacks.
So if you lose your job, resilience is just surviving the unemployment.
Right. But anti-fragility is using that push to finally start the business you always dreamed of, effectively upgrading your life because of the shock.
Incredible. So we've traveled through diet, movement, mindset, and deep philosophy.
We've covered a lot of ground.
As we wrap up this deep dive, let's look at the epilogue. The author summarized the art of living with 10 golden rules of Ikigai.
These are the rules distilled from everything we've discussed today. Let's recap them for everyone listening.
Rule 1, stay active, don't retire. Keep doing what you love and adding value.
Rule 2, take it slow. Urgency ruins the quality of life. Walk slowly and you'll go far.
Rule 3, don't fill your stomach. Remember the 80% rule, Hara Hachi Bu, and that 20-minute lag.
Rule 4, surround yourself with good friends. Build your Moai.
Rule 5, get in shape for your next birthday. Keep the water flowing. Don't let your body stagnate.
Rule 6, smile. It opens doors and connects you to the community.
Rule 7, reconnect with nature. We are made to be outdoors, not trapped in cubicles all day.
Rule 8, Give thanks. Gratitude grows your happiness stockpile.
Rule 9. Live in the moment. Wabi-Sabi and Ichigo Ichi. Stop regretting the past or fearing the future.
And finally, Rule 10. Follow your Ikigai. There's a passion inside you. Find it and let it drive you.
The authors leave us with a final, beautiful thought. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced.
That is the ultimate takeaway.
Yeah.
You don't need to move to Okinawa to find this. You don't need a shikawasa tree in your backyard.
Curiosity is your compass. Follow what sparks that curiosity and you will find your meaning. But thinking about all this, it leaves me with one final provocative thought for you to mull over.
Oh, what's that?
What if your Ikigai isn't a single fixed destination? What if the thing you are meant to do at 20 is completely different from what you are meant to do at 50 or 80? Maybe the real secret isn't just finding your Ikigai once, but having the courage to let it evolve as you do.
That is a fascinating way to look at it. The target is always moving.
Exactly. Well, friends, that brings us to the end of our journey to Okinawa. This deep dive was a full summary of Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life.
We really hope you found some nuggets here to apply to your own life. And remember, if you enjoyed this detailed breakdown, please subscribe to the YouTube channel Simplified Summary.
Yes, please do. Share this channel with a friend who needs a little Ikigai in their life. It helps us keep the lights on and the research flowing so we can bring you more deep dives like this.
Happy travels on your journey to finding your purpose.
See you in the next deep dive.